Governor Newsom has vetoed a bill sponsored by State Assemblymember Mayes aimed at forcing Coachella Valley representation onto the Imperial Irrigation District Board. But Mayes says the effort is still not over. I spoke with him today about what's next.
Chad, the governor vetoed your bill that would have added a Coachella Valley resident to the IID Board of Directors. What is your immediate reaction?
Well, initially, the question was, wait, what? I'd gotten an upfront phone call about it, and then it became very clear the reason why. The governor—
From who?
I've got a phone call from the administration's staff, from the legislative staff. And so my immediate thought was, okay, why? The bill sailed through both the Assembly and the Senate, and what was the concern? And the concern was simply that the June deadline that we had to complete the study, that the LAFCO agencies had to be able to complete the study, that the governor believed that was not enough time to be able to have a stakeholder engagement. But I got assurances that the governor believes that the people that are outside of the water services area for IID, that they should be able to have the right to be able to vote, and that this process going through the LAFCO agencies is necessary, and also got a commitment from his staff, from the administration, that they're going to work with me on it, and here in the fall, and also going into the beginning of next year, to make sure that we can make it happen.
So it sounds like this is not over yet, that you're going to plan to introduce something similar.
No. What we need to do, here's the thing: we need to have a local stakeholder engagement, and that's what these LAFCO agencies are supposed to do. There's the local agency formation commissions, and there's one in Riverside County, and there's one in Imperial County, and that's really the state's way of saying that there needs to be a community buy-in, and that there needs to be a process that's there. What my bill would have said is that would have told the LAFCO agencies and given them guidance on what needed to be done, and then set a deadline. The governor was fine with, in fact, believes in the cause. It was just the deadline, because I wanted to make sure there was enough time to be able to get the stakeholder process done.
IID, of course, had been very opposed to this bill, and had even threatened to stop serving the Coachella Valley if this bill were to pass. So where do things now stand with the utility, and where do you see things going?
Well, frankly, it's the study has already been funded. In fact, the state of California, through our budget this year, allocated $500,000 to the two agencies, to both Riverside County and Imperial County LAFCO. So that work is going to be done. In fact, the governor said that in his veto letter, is that we put money in the budget just for this very purpose. We want to make sure that this is studied. It's just that setting a deadline of June of next year might be too soon. We might have to put a deadline on it if the study isn't, if it takes too long. Maybe it's going to be in the fall, maybe the following year. But we're going to wait to see what happens. I do know that the RFP has already been put out to bid from the LAFCOs to find a consultant to be able to assist in that, and they're already moving down that process. So now it's just going to be a process of stakeholder engagement, figuring out what system, what governance structure is going to be best for the future.
Let me ask, are you satisfied so far with the Coachella Valley Energy Commission, and do you think that it's accomplishing its goal of getting Valley representation?
Yeah, it's not giving the Valley representation, but what it is doing is it is providing sort of a small think tank to be able to have ideas. And I'm thankful for IID of putting that Energy Commission together. It took a lot for them to be able to do that, and I'm thankful that they've done that. The problem, of course, is that it really just is, a small think tank. It's a place for ideas to be hashed out with not a whole lot of real teeth. And that's why it's so important that the LAFCO agencies do this work.
All right, Chad, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, Peter, thanks so much for having me.
IID released a statement which reads in part, Governor Newsom recognized that the expiration of the 99-year power lease for energy service to the Coachella Valley requires proper time and stakeholder engagement to study and plan for. You can read the full statement on KESQ.com.